Welcome back, each and everyone watching Mama Rwanda television. Thank you for being with us. You're going to be with me, Kamika Gislen. Now let's kick off the news headlines. Rwanda Parliament summons ministers over urban development, housing and land use issue. Cricket build hope, hands over Gahanga Stadium to Rwanda Cricket Association. On the international news, Israel defends Somaliland move at UN amid concerns over Gaza motive. Now let's take a short break to be back on the news details. Welcome back. Let's start our news in Rwanda. Today, deputies, readers in government institutions and civil society with a connection to family life, youth and others gathered for a consultative meeting on a safe family and the role of the youth should play. The discussions were organized by the Forum of Rwandan Women in Parliament, FFRP, with the theme Conversation between young and old on a safe and capable family preparing Rwanda's future leaders. During this meeting, the chairperson of the Rwanda Women Advisory Board, Tito Rutarimara, commended the Federation of Women in Parliament, FFRP, for its significant role in enacting laws governing the rights of women and girls, including those related to inheritance. Moving ahead, Rwanda's Chamber of Deputies has resolved to summon ministers of infrastructure and development to explain persistent challenges in urban development, housing and land use issue identified during nationwide field assessment. The resolutions were adopted on December 29 during a plenary sitting that approved a report compared from visits conducted from November 24th and December 7. Members of Parliament visited 237 sectors across all districts, assessing progress in infrastructure, housing project, and land use planning. MPs commended improvements in water and sanitation, electricity, transport network, ICT infrastructure, environmental protection projects, and economic initiatives, particularly in Kigali and satellite cities. However, the report highlighted gaps including outdated water networks, sanitation shortages in public spaces, poorly managed waste sites, and slow implementation of planned housing schemes. Housing shortages, delays in permits, and residents living in undesignated or unsafe areas were also noted. Land use challenges included underutilized state and institutional land, unused public buildings, boundary disputes, and delayed land registration, which MPs said continue to hinder orderly urbanization and sustainable development. Turning to the next story, Cricket Build Hope CBH will on Wednesday, December 31st, formally hand over ownership of Gahanga Cricket Stadium to the Rwanda Cricket Association, marking a major milestone in Rwanda's sport for development journey. The transfer comes 8 years after the stadium opened and 14 years after the charity launched €1 million fundraising campaign to build Rwanda's first international standard cricket ground. Opened in 2017, Gahanga Cricket Stadium has become the center of cricket in Rwanda, hosting more international T20 matches than any other venue globally and welcoming teams from across Africa, Europe, Asia, and South America. RCA President Stephen Musare described the handover as a defining moment, noting that stadium laws in spreading cricket nationwide. RCA programs now reach over 25,000 players, most of them youth, with women accounting for about 40%. Cricket Build Hopes officials say the transfer fulfills the charity's original vision of placing the iconic facility fully in Rwanda's hands, ensuring a sustainable legacy for future generations. Now let's take a short break to be back on the international news.
yego inshuti bakunzi rero mukurikira ibiganiro byacu Scovia Fashion Shop noneho kugira ngo muyibone uraturuka kuri Rwanda Revenue hari akarenge kanditsemo Scovia Fashion Shop
muri nyubako ya Mike
muri Mike ako karenge kari mu ibara ritukura iyo urebye hasi ibara ritukura ribona harimo nomero za telefone wahamagara ako karenge kanditsemo Scovia Fashion ugakurikire kana kujyana mu iduka ngo pi
Welcome back. On the international news, Israel has defended its formal recognition of self-declared Republic of Somaliland, but several countries at the United Nations questioned whether the move aimed to relocate Palestinians from Gaza or to establish military bases.
On the international news, Israel defended its decision to formally recognize the self-declared Republic of Somaliland as independent, but several UN member states expressed concern over the move. Israel's Deputy UN Ambassador Jonathan Mira said the recognition is not hostile towards Somalia and is intended as an opportunity for dialogue and partnership. Israel also reviewed Somaliland as a potential strategic ally against Yemen's Houthis, whose attacks in the Red Sea have disrupted regional shipping. The Arab League, Pakistan, and Somalia warned that the recognition could undermine international law and threaten Palestinians, while the US defended Israel, accusing the Security Council of double standards. Somaliland has functioned autonomously since 1991 but has lacked international recognition. Israel aims to expand its cooperation with Somaliland in agriculture, health, technology, and trade, seeking to boost the breakaway region's global standing. Proceeding on the international news, Saudi Arabia issued a strong national security warning on Tuesday, demanding that the United Arab Emirates forces to withdraw from Yemen within 24 hours. The move follows a Saudi-led coalition airstrike on the southern port of Mukarra, targeting two ships allegedly carrying weapons and military vehicles from the UAE to support southern separatists. Yemen's Saudi-backed Presidential Council head Rashad al-Alimi accused the UAE of backing the Southern Transitional Council in undermining the government, considering a defense pact with Abu Dhabi and imposing a 72 hours no-fly sea and land blockade. The STC, however, rejected Arimi's orders, asserting the UAE remains a key partner against the Iran-aligned Houthis and claiming the council lacks authority to remove tensions between Saudi Arabia and the UAE, risking renewed conflict in Yemen and potential disruptions in Gulf diplomacy and oil market consensus. Concluding our international news, Kremlin has declined to provide evidence supporting claims of a Ukrainian drone attack on one President Vladimir Putin's residences in the Novgorod region. Russian officials maintain that the reported drones were intercepted and destroyed by air defenses system with no injuries or damage reported. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov said the military handled the incident and there was no need to release further proof. Ukraine dismissed Russia's accusation as baseless, with Foreign Minister Andriy Sybiha calling the claims fabricated and aimed at undermining ongoing peace talks. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov condemned the arrest attack as a terrorism and warned that the retaliatory strikes has been planned. Meanwhile, the alleged incident drew reactions from international leaders, including US President Donald Trump, who expressed outrage upon learning of the claims. The episode adds tension to already fragile negotiations between Moscow and Kiev. Kamikaze Ghislaine, Mamorga Gasabo TV.
As we come to the end of today's news edition, let's remind you of the top stories that we talked about. Rwanda Parliament summons ministers of urban development, housing, and land use issue. Cricket build hope hands over Gahanga Stadium to Rwanda Cricket Association. On the international news, Israel defends Somaliland move at UN amid concerns over Gaza motive. And this marks the end. Stay tuned.